All right, let's just jump right into it. Today, we're going to talk about a brand new way to create some incredible presentations, and I mean in minutes. We're going to use a couple of really powerful and totally free AI tools that are honestly going to change your entire workflow.
Yeah, who doesn't? You know that feeling, right? You're just staring at a blank slide and you know it's going to take hours to pull together something that's even halfway decent. We have all been there.
But what if I told you there's a way to just skip all that frustration? A new method that uses AI to build totally custom presentations, not from some generic template, but from your own research. And the best part? It costs absolutely nothing. Let's be real for a second. The old way of building slides is kind of broken. It's a huge time suck, and it often leads to results that are, well, pretty uninspired. It's just a massive drain on productivity. You spend all this time wrestling with text, fighting with formatting, trying to cram all your research into some kind of coherent story, only to end up with a deck that looks exactly like everyone else's.
So, what's the solution? It's this awesome combination of two free tools from Google that you really need to know about: Gemini and NotebookLM.
And this analogy is just perfect. Seriously, think of these tools not as competitors, but as partners. They each have a very specific job, and when you put them together, wow, the results are just so much better than using either one by itself. So here's how it breaks down. Gemini is basically your creative writer. It's fantastic at coming up with ideas and writing the actual text for your slides. NotebookLM, though, that's your super focused research assistant. You feed it your documents, your notes, and it becomes an expert only on your topic. And the price for this powerhouse duo? Zero. Zilch. Nada. I'm not talking about a free trial where you need a credit card. It's just free, unlimited access to two of the most useful content creation tools out there.
Okay, but how do you actually use them together? It's a great question. Let's walk through the exact workflow, step by step. So here's the whole process at a glance. We start big with Gemini to get the ideas flowing. Then we get super focused with NotebookLM using our own research. And then we go back to Gemini to do the heavy lifting of the actual writing. It's a really simple, repeatable system.
So first, you pop into Gemini with a simple prompt, something like this one. The key here is to be really specific about your audience and what you want to achieve. Gemini will spit out a solid outline in seconds. But don't stop there. This is your chance to really refine it. Ask for stats, examples, different angles. Make it your own.
Okay, now it's NotebookLM's turn. You take that awesome outline from Gemini plus any other research you have, articles, PDFs, random notes, and you just dump it all into a new notebook. Instantly, it becomes your own private expert that only knows the information you gave it. And here it is, the magic step. You ask your new little research expert, NotebookLM, to create the actual structure for your presentation based on everything you just gave it. You can even tell it how many slides you want and the format, just like you see in this prompt. And this is what you get back: a totally logical slide-by-slide plan. And it's not generic. It's a structure built completely from your content. It basically lays out the entire story of your presentation for you. It's amazing. Now for the final step in getting the content done. You just copy that beautiful structure from NotebookLM, paste it right back into Gemini, and give it one last command. Write the full conversational content for each of these slides. And because Gemini has all the context now, it creates incredibly relevant, well-written stuff in just a few seconds. So you might be wondering, why go through all this? Why use two tools instead of just one? Well, the answer really comes down to two simple words: quality and specificity. This slide really says it all. A single AI tool is just pulling from this giant cloud of general information, right? So you get generic results. But with this combo, NotebookLM acts like a filter. It grounds the whole process in your specific research. That means the final output you get from Gemini isn't just relevant, it's actually useful. And this is why it wins. You get much better quality because it's based on your own expertise. Gemini actually gets the context and understands what you're trying to do. And that means you end up with sharper, more persuasive content that actually gets your audience to do something, all without spending a single penny. Okay, so you've got your whole script written out slide by slide. Now for the final and honestly the fastest part of the whole process.
And this is the question on everyone's mind at this point. You have this amazing content, but it's still just a bunch of text. how do you get it into a polished visual presentation? Well, you've got a ton of great options. You can, of course, just copy-paste into Google Slides if you want full control, or you could use something like Canvas AI to whip up a template and then just drop your text in. Or if you want the fastest route, you can use a tool like Gamma, which takes your raw text and designs the whole thing for you automatically. It just depends on how much you want to tinker with the design. But here's the real takeaway. The design tool you pick, it's not that important. The real secret weapon here is the workflow. It totally shifts your focus from messing with formatting to what actually matters, creating way better, more specific, and more persuasive content, and doing it in a fraction of the time. And look, don't be intimidated by the idea of using two different tools. This whole process is so straightforward. Like the source material says, it's easy enough for a third grader. You just have to follow the steps. The power to create a really professional, high-impact presentation is literally at your fingertips right now. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?